Hey Internet, Eric here. Finally gonna sit down and do request videos for this channel because a lot of people have been waiting a long time. Some have been messaging me, hey, when are you gonna talk about this? When are you gonna finally talk about that? So now that I put some of the series retrospectives to the side, I'm gonna finally sit down and talk about some films that people have been waiting a long time for me to talk about. And especially tonight, because the film I'm gonna talk about tonight was sent by a person I used to talk to on Twitter, and it's been so long. I've heard recently that she's left social media, so I don't even fucking know if she's gonna see this review or discussion video, whatever you want to call it. But today I'm going to talk about the movie from 2016. It's called Pet. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I do discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. And especially this film, I'm going to have to spoil the hell out of certain things to give a full opinion on what I think of this. Basic plot is Dominic Monaghan, from you mostly known from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He is Merry, one of the hobbits. He's also in like X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and I guess other stuff. He plays this loner working at an animal shelter, I guess. You know, the one takes care, feeds and waters. You know, gives water to the dogs, and then sadly has to put them down when they're not adopted. He meets Holly on a bus. He's a man with no purpose in life until he meets Holly on a bus, and then his life has a reason to keep going, I guess. He becomes obsessed with this woman so much that he eventually abducts her and keeps her held hostage in this room, in this old abandoned room, I guess, that no one knows about, of course, in the animal shelter, and she is inside this makeshift cage that he built himself. And then he realizes he might have taken on more than he can handle with her. So that's basically the plot. What I can talk about before the major spoiler parts is Dominic Monaghan. Really like him in this. You wouldn't think one of the hobbits would be creepy, unless you've seen that Eminem music video. I Love the Way You Lie with Rihanna. He plays Megan Fox's like abusive boyfriend. He can show through at least a music video and no dialogue how he can be pretty intimidating, pretty scary. And he's really good in this. I love a lot of it's just body language. He doesn't have that much dialogue, you know, because a lot of it is him with himself, and those are some of my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes is him. He's on the computer, you know, with his headphones, and he's just staring at the screen, obsessed, stalking her through her social media profile. I know likes and dislikes and this and that. And another one of my favorite scenes is just him standing in his hallway. He's talking to himself, but he's acting like how he would have a conversation with Holly. And then when he is having interaction with Holly, both before, you know, he comes off somewhat innocent in the beginning, but then you can tell he goes into full creep mode before the abduction happens, and then after the abduction, after the abduction happens, and the conversations between him and Holly, you know he has a purpose, and she's not going to get away from this situation very easily. He's got a plan, and he wants to see it through fruition. So Dominic Monaghan is really, really good. Now, I already warned you, it's only been 4 minutes roughly. There is a major twist, and there's going to be some spoilers, so I'm going to count down from 5. If you keep watching, it's your own fault. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love the girl who plays Holly. She does a really good job being creeped out by Dominic. And then after she's captured, like I said, there's this major twist. You find out that she's not so innocent as it would seem. She, let's just say, without spoiling too much, she has voices she talks to in her head, because of guilt. And you find out that she has violent tendencies and she has murdered people. And Dominic is now keeping her in this cage to save her. And I like this game of cat and mouse, which first you thought was Dominic, but now it's Holly. And this girl who plays Holly does a really, really good job of showing that she's psychotic and she's going to make Dominic do what she wants. And there's some really good foreshadowing that she's not all there, because there's a scene where she's going to the bathroom in like a bedpan. She's scared by a rat, and she stomps this rat to death in her bare feet. So something's not right there. She does a really good job. She trying to seduce him, and you kind of buy it. You could see how you can tell Dominic Monaghan has never had any major interactions with women, and you can see how he buys her seduction. She's not overly flirty or anything like that, but just the way she moves her body and the way she reaches out and uses her voice and stuff like that. Really, really good performance. And then when the shit really hits the fan, you buy her performance when she's telling Dominic what he has to do. Let's just say a security guard finds her, and Dominic has to get rid of the security guard, and he doesn't know what to do, but Holly is telling him what must be done, and she's being so forceful that he's in between a rock and a hard place. Either he's going to get caught, or she might do something to him. So really good interaction between the two of them. Those are the only main characters, him and her. In this, strong performances by both. There is like I said, the security guard who's in there, maybe 10 minutes total. He's got a couple lines with Dominic. He's nothing special. The only ones you really watch are Dominic and Holly, and then there is a third character, though, the person that Holly is talking to, which is barely in the movie at all, but it's good interaction between that person and Holly as well. So overall, good performances. There's a huge creep factor. Like I said, with the performances, gore, not too much that you would think. There is a car crash. The gore is decent in that. There is a little bit of violence. Like probably the one that made me cringe the most was Holly's trying to break out of the cage, and her fingernail gets damaged. It's a close up shot of the fingernail, and that made me wince. And then there's some slashings and this and that. So the gore isn't too over the top, but it's realistic, I would say. So props to that. I don't remember a lot of the score, so there's that. What else can I really talk about? I mean, the person who recommended this to me put it on such a high pedestal, and I think it was so overhyped for me. Like, I'll get to it. The beginning. See, now I'm stuttering. It wasn't as great as this person said. I mean, I love the performances. I like the concept. The twist was kind of out there, but it was good. And then once we got to the ending, it kind of fell flat for me. I'm still not sold on the ending. What happens is Holly does eventually get away, and the way she does it is really cool. I like what she makes Dominic do to himself, and then what she does, she threatens to hurt herself if Dominic doesn't let her out. So that I didn't see, and then she hurts Dominic. And then we cut to like months in the future, and she's with somebody, which I won't get into, but she has this urge to hurt him, and then you find out that she decides not to, and then she goes and visits Dominic, who is in this cage, and he has been horribly mutilated. So I don't know if she's taking her homicidal tendencies out on Dominic, so she doesn't hurt anybody else. So maybe Dominic's plan to save her worked. I could be looking at it wrong. I don't know. I kind of wanted I wanted a more definitive answer. I wanted one of those two to die somehow. I wanted either Dominic to kill her to stop her from doing this, or I wanted her to kill Dominic and keep going with this murderous rage she had. I don't know how I feel about the fact that she's keeping Dominic alive and torturing him to keep her murderous rages at bay, if that's what she's doing. Overall, Pet, did I really like it? It was okay. It was worth one watch. Like I said, I really dug the two performances. I really liked the twist ending that I didn't see coming. I liked how Dominic was trying to save her from doing any more murders, but by the time that ending happened, it didn't sit right with me. And this is one of those films where if the ending doesn't work, or if you just don't like it, it just kind of deflates that hot air balloon or whatever. So overall, would I recommend seeing Pet? I do. Because I think Dominic Monaghan's performance is really, really good. This girl who plays Holly is really, really good. Just the two of them interacting. It's worth seeing those two interact. Decent gore for what it is. I like the tone of this film, the creepiness. So there's more positives than negatives. The only negative thing I can think of is I didn't really like the ending that much, and that is what killed it for me. If this was, I got it on Netflix, 5 stars. I clicked 3, so I liked it. It wasn't just okay. It was better than okay, but it wasn't really good. So if the person, I won't say her name because she left social media for her reasons, if she's watching this review of Pet, you overhyped it for me, girl. But I did like it in the long run overall. So 2016 Pet, decent. Nothing great. I expected and wanted a lot better. How about that? Yeah. So I don't know what else to say. I got some more reviews coming. Aftershock, Roadhouse. Me and the wife are gonna do the Batman series. Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher videos. I got so much more on my plate right now. But 2016 Pet. Worth watching for the performances. But don't say I didn't warn you with that kind of a meh ending after all that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, click the bell. Don't care. Send me comment below. Tell me if you really enjoyed this film, or if you think I'm giving it too much praise, or if you agree with me and you say meh at best. Yeah. So in the end, I'm just gonna say cheers, and man, he was one creepy fucking hobbit.